Honorable, revered Chief Justice of Pakistan, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, Honorable Chief Justices and Judges of the Superior Judiciary, my fellow Chief Ministers of Sindh, Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Honorable Federal Minister for Law and Justice, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is both a profound privilege and an absolute honor to address this distinguished gathering at the National Conference on Prison Reforms, convened under the guidance and leadership of the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan. I commend the Law and Justice Commission of Pakistan for bringing together all stakeholders to deliberate upon an issue that lies at the basis of human dignity and rule of law. Allow me at the outset to pay tribute to the Superior Judiciary of Pakistan for its unwavering commitment to constitutionalism, the protection of fundamental rights, and its continuous efforts to improve the administration of justice. I must also appreciate and admire the first woman Chief Justice of Lahore High Court, who has been relentlessly working to deliver speedy justice and end the decades-long backlog. And Madam, I really commend you for that. This is no mean feat, so hats off to you. I stand before you today not only as a Chief Minister, not only as a Chief Executive of the biggest province of Pakistan, but I stand before you as someone who has looked at prison walls not merely from the outside, but from behind them. And the reforms that I will be talking about today stem from my own personal experiences. I have lived them personally, experienced them firsthand, and that experience, Your Honor, changed me forever. It changed the way I think about justice. It changed the way I understand the responsibility of state towards those in custody. Most importantly, it reminded me that a prison sentence should never become a sentence against human dignity. Your Honor, every reform that we have introduced carries a memory. Every policy that I'm making, lesson learned behind the prison walls, and I did not want these experiences to remain my personal story. I wanted them to become institutional reforms so that no prisoner, regardless of who they are or where they come from, has to endure avoidable suffering. When we speak of prisons, we must look beyond walls, bars, and security arrangements. A prison is not merely a place of confinement. It is a reflection of the values of a society and the effectiveness of its justice system. The manner in which we treat those in our custody ultimately measures our commitment to justice, to fairness, to compassion, to respect, and to human dignity. Punjab operates one of the largest correctional systems in Pakistan, comprising 45 prisons that currently house more than 69,000 inmates, close to 70,000, against an authorized capacity of approximately 39,000. Yet the challenge is not just overcrowding. Nearly 3/4 of our prison population consists of under-trial prisoners. The reality reminds us that prison reforms cannot be pursued in isolation, It must go hand in hand with broader reforms across the criminal justice system. For me, however, these reforms, as I just said, are not merely administrative decisions. Every reform, as I said, carries a memory. Every policy has a human story behind it. My story, my own story, story of thousands. Every improvement reminds me of something I witnessed or experienced myself firsthand. I introduced emergency call buttons and alarm bells, panic buttons inside prison cells throughout Punjab. Today, every prison cell is equipped with these emergency systems so that no inmate is ever left without a way to call for immediate assistance. And the assistance comes. When someone calls for help, help must arrive. Human life cannot wait behind locked doors. A prison sentence should never mean abandonment. Including my opponents, regardless of the offense they've committed, should be deprived of basic respect, of basic dignity, of basic cleanliness, of basic facilities. We have made sanitation, clean washrooms, proper ventilation, better accommodation, and access to essential hygiene supplies a priority. For women inmates in particular, excellencies, hygiene products are not just a privilege. They are a constitutional right and a matter of basic human dignity. For someone behind bars, ladies and gentlemen, a meeting with loved ones is not merely a visit. It is often the reminder that life continues beyond prison walls. My daughter, my youngest daughter, who has just finished her graduation, was only 13 years old then. And I remember every time she used to walk into the meeting room, she used to leave crying. And as a mother, I know that every mother sitting here, every woman sitting here would identify with that. It was a very difficult time. Prisons also taught me the pain of separation in its cruelest form. While both my father and I were in the same prison, both times, my mother became seriously ill. For days, neither of us could speak to her. We could not sit beside her, hold her hand, or comfort her. She left this world while we remained behind prison walls. Today is her birthday, Your Honor, and it reminds me of what she used to say. She used to say in Punjabi, या राह पे आ जाने या वाह पे आ जाने, जिस पे गुजरती है वही जानता है. And she used to also say, जिस तन लागे सो तन जाने. And that led to this, to introduce technology-driven systems, including online appointment facilities for prison visits, structured telephone access, video call services that is now available to every prisoner across Punjab, irrespective of his or her status. Across Punjab, prisons have witnessed significant improvements in visitation facilities, family interaction areas, transport arrangements, and modern audio and video communication systems. At the same time, we have undertaken an ambitious program of infrastructure development, new correctional facilities, additional barracks, specialized Borstal institutions for juvenile offenders, dedicated correctional facilities for women, modern training institutions are being established to reduce overcrowding and create a safer, more dignified environment for everyone living and working inside our prisons. Libraries are being enriched with updated books, educational resources, literature, and learning materials that encourage personal growth, flight of fancy, and intellectual development. When I looked around the prison, excellencies, and my dear lordships, I realized that too many inmates were defined only by their conviction. I wanted our correctional system to see something more. Every prisoner remains a human being with the capacity to learn, to change, and to rebuild a meaningful life. That belief has shaped my reform agenda. We have also revitalized prison industries so that inmates can learn productive trades while contributing to economic activity. By connecting these industries with modern marketing platforms and digital marketplaces, we are creating genuine opportunities for rehabilitation, and every prisoner must be given a genuine opportunity to return to society as a better citizen than when they entered. Healthcare is another lesson prison has taught me. And therefore, Government of Punjab has made healthcare one of the cornerstones of prison reforms. Through the Chief Minister's Prisoners Health Programme, comprehensive screening and treatment systems have been introduced for communicable diseases, mental health conditions, and substance use disorders. Jail hospitals are being upgraded, and partnerships with leading hospitals and healthcare institutions have been strengthened to ensure professional medical supervision and continuity of care. Punjab has embraced digital transformations to make prison administration more transparent, accountable, and efficient. Digitization of prisoner records, biometric verification systems, as you saw in the video, integration with national database, and the Safe Jails Punjab project are strengthening governance while enhancing the safety of inmates, prison staff, and visitors alike simultaneously. As we move forward, my dear Lordships, we continue to look forward to the superior judiciary, not only as an institutional partner, but also as a source of guidance and inspiration. Judiciary's steadfast commitment to safeguarding constitutional rights and protecting human dignity provides the moral compass for all of us engaged in public service. Together, we can build a correctional system that protects society while respecting the dignity of every individual entrusted to the care of the state. Our vision is clear, Excellencies. Prisons must no longer be a place where hope dies. Become places where lives can begin, places where education replaces ignorance, where skills replace dependency, where rehabilitation replaces despair, where accountability is balanced with compassion, where justice is strengthened by mercy. Every reform we have introduced is rooted in one simple principle, and that is human dignity. May Allah the Almighty guide us in our collective endeavor to build a correctional system that reflects the highest values of our Constitution, protects the dignity of every individual, and strengthens the foundation of justice in Pakistan. May He grant us the wisdom to ensure that every prison becomes a place where reform is possible, hope is restored, and humanity is never forgotten. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Pakistan Zindabad.
I now have the honor to invite the Honorable Chief Minister of Sindh to address the conference.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, Justice C.I. Afridi, Honorable Federal Minister for Law and Justice, my fellow Chief Ministers, Judges of the Supreme Court, Chief Justices of the High Court, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's indeed a privilege to participate in this National Conference on Prison Reforms convened by the National Judicial Policy Making Committee. I express my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan and the Law and Justice Commission of Pakistan for bringing together key stakeholders to deliberate on an issue that lies at the intersection of justice, public safety, and human dignity. When the state lawfully deprives an individual of liberty, it assumes responsibility for that individual's safety, dignity, health, and opportunity for reform. A prisoner may lose freedom of movement, but not his humanity. The success of a correctional system is measured not only by the secure custody of the inmate, but also by its ability to prepare individuals for lawful and productive reintegration into the society. Across the world, correctional philosophy has evolved from punishment and isolation towards rehabilitation, reintegration, and reduction of recidivism. International instruments such as the United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for Treatment of Prisoners, the Nelson Mandela Rules, the Bangkok Rules, the Beijing Rules emphasize humane treatment, healthcare, rehabilitation, and special protection for vulnerable groups. Articles 176 and 192 of our Constitution provide for judicial strength in the superior courts, while the strength of the district judiciary is determined by the provincial governments in consultation with the respective high courts. Timely justice therefore requires continued investment in judicial institutions at all levels. The scale of challenge is evident from the fact that more than 2.6 million cases are currently pending before courts across Pakistan. Reducing prison overcrowding and under-trial detention therefore requires sustained strengthening of judicial institutions alongside correctional reforms. Our objective should not simply be to build more prisons. Our objective should be to build a more efficient, humane, and rehabilitative justice system that protects society while preserving human dignity. These principles are fully aligned with the reforms trajectory in Sindh. I'll quickly take you through the Sindh reforms journey from prisons to correction. Ladies and gentlemen, recognizing that the modern correctional system must go